The first few seconds after landing on any hotel website are the most important ones to make an impact. So how can we use these few seconds to entice prospects into reading further the content of our website and then turn into customers, rather than bouncing and leaving the website more likely forever? And the first impact is driven by what people see after the page is fully loaded and what's most prominent there in the page. More likely is the first image, or anyway the visuals, so either image or video, and the first claim or statement. Many hotel website has a message "Welcome to hotel name," and that's probably a very good thing to say when people are to check in, but definitely not when we are trying to convince them to turn into customers. Ultimately, marketing is just about two things: getting people attention and getting people curiosity. So how can we get people attention and curiosity with a simple message like "Welcome to hotel name"? There are so many different and better ways to actually use that space in a way more efficient way. And this is what we're going to see today in this video. This and more coming up, so let's dig in. Okay, so the first impact, in other words, what are the most prominent things that people see when they land on any website, any hotel website? And same as last time, so let's start with some bad example before moving on to some good example. And I've already mentioned the "Welcome to hotel name" sort of thing, sort of message, sort of main claim. I mean, we are not at the front desk. We're not welcoming people. When it comes to staying at our hotel, we are trying to sell our hotel, and therefore this message is a little bit of a waste opportunity, because of course it's nice to say welcome, but this is not the right moment. It's not actually the most important thing that we could make use of or that we can say in order to have an impact. Actually, this is probably the worst example in that sense, in the sense that I have many difficulties trying to find something that is positive in this picture, in this image, in this screenshot. All right, so same as last time, I mean, bad examples, I'm not going to make any bad publicity to anyone, so I just put screenshot and I simply hid any reference to the hotel, so logo, hotel name, any address, and whatsoever. But if you look at this picture, so we have two main things. Again, picture, the main image, and the main claim, which is the "Welcome to the" and then hotel name. Now, the picture is, so let's start with the images. So the most, because images are faster, have a faster impact, all right? So we first see and then we read. Reading actually takes a little bit more time or brain effort in order to understand and to decode what's behind the message of what we are reading. So the very first thing is the image. There are no powerful colors or vivid colors. It's just a picture of a room. It's just a regular room. Yes, it might be a suite, it's very nice living room, but yes, I mean, there is there is literally nothing special. And other than that, actually, by the way, not sure if you see it, it's not even high quality image. It's a little bit graded a little bit, if you can see it. Not sure if you can see, because this is a screenshot, but actually it's not really a very high quality picture. And other than that, let's move on to the message. Other than the fact that the message itself is so weak, "Welcome to the hotel name," but it's not even very visible because it's white and it's placed over colors that are very bright as well, and therefore is also difficult to read. The other thing that you can notice is that also the menu on top, and now here we're getting a little bit more into the details, and probably what I'm about to say, I'm going to be shooting another video, so we're going to be having another episode of it. But the menu on top, you see how many, so the top menu, we'll see home, accommodations, amenities and services, and so on and so forth. You see many voices of menu, very small font size, and therefore it's very difficult to navigate, in the sense that it's very difficult even to read. If you move on to this example, for example, the top menu is a little bit better because the font size is a little bit bigger. It's the same principle, "Welcome to the hotel name." At least the picture makes a little bit more sense because it's dark and the font is bright, so white, so at least the contrast is pretty good. It's not hotel room. I am totally against having the hotel room as the main picture. When someone lands on the hotel website, they see just a room picture, which is totally not enticing, all right? So no matter how good the room is, as part of a gallery, it makes sense, of course, but not as a first static picture. So the very first example, this one that was seen a moment ago, is actually super bad in my opinion. This one is actually not too much better, but at least in terms of color and the call to action is a bit better. As a matter of fact, in the previous example, there were no call to action, nothing at all. So people, they could just read and nothing else. They had to do something by themselves, so either scroll down or to click one of the menu. Here at least they have some clear call to action. The problem is that, well, actually I see probably three problems. The first problem is that there are too many call to actions, all right? So the book a table, book your stay, meeting request, there are probably too many actually. We are kind of confusing people, even though these are probably not necessarily call to actions, but they're more likely menu in the forms. So voices of menu, they could be placed in the top menu, but simply placed and put there in the form of a call to action. The second thing is that the meetings, all right, we are in September 2021. Meetings all over the globe are kind of banned. If not banned, that's very difficult to actually schedule and to actually have one. So why are you wasting space, time, and human brain energy to have that a call to action that people cannot even make use of? All right, so it's very, very, very weak. This is probably something that has been left there from pre-COVID times, and no one had the decency to take care of it, unfortunately. And the third thing is that it's even doubled. So you have the meeting request as part of the three buttons in the middle of the screen, plus the book meeting on top of it, which is a different color, meaning entice something that is different, but actually is exactly the same as the meeting request. Now, I've come to the conclusion when you see the welcome to hotel name as the main claim in the homepage of any hotel website, well, I mean, based on my experience, there are three possible reasons. And the first reason is that the hotel doesn't know what to do and what to say, right? And in that sense, what is very common to do is actually trying to copy what others do. And unfortunately, that's the problem. It's a vicious circle in the sense that the more hotels have these kind of messages, probably the more other hotels who are a little bit confused in terms of what should I be placing there in order to have a proper message, they probably don't know, and they don't want to invest the time and energy in order to understand what they should be putting there. Well, they just copy what others do. And that's the result, a very weak message. The second reason, probably even worse, is about the marketing agency who doesn't know what to put in there. Even worse, because as a marketing agency, they should be knowing what to put in there. At least they should know, or at least thinking about something that it makes more sense, or it makes more, people excited about what they're about to see and read in the website. And the third reason is probably the worst one, is that where the agency is just entitled to develop the website, meaning the structure from a technical point of view, but then in terms of text, so descriptions, title, call to action is all about the hotel. Meaning the hotel is writing the text, and then the web agency or the developer, the webmaster, is just entitled to, to put them in place in the right places. And that's very, 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 very bad. I've seen some terrible disaster, terrible actually website based on this kind of situation, because it's just like, you don't buy a Ferrari just because it looks good, but also probably because it has an engine underneath, beneath the body, and something else other than the engine. Everything in a Ferrari probably is good, or I guess is pretty good, and not just what you see outside, or probably just the engine and the body is very poor. You see the point? Everything needs to be done professionally speaking, and this is a perfect recipe for disaster. Now let's get better though, because here is still not a good example. However, at least in terms of visual, is very impactful. All right, there are two things actually about the images. The first is about the image itself. So first, high quality picture, and this is high quality picture. Probably you can see the difference as opposed to the very first example that I showed you before. The second thing is about colors. Colors playing a big role, and autumn colors like this are super, super, super powerful, because they're all positive colors. So positive colors are red, yellow, blue. Actually, also green. Green is not a positive color, actually, but at least are vivid colors that surely make an impact and actually catch people's attention. If you think about it, marketing is not is nothing other than just getting people attention and getting people curiosity. It's literally about these two things, curiosity and attention. Actually, attention first and curiosity. And with a visual like this, you definitely catch people's attention. Now, in this case, the welcome to the hotel name is totally, well, it's totally useless because there is no need to say anything. The picture, the visual says it all. Pictures say many more things than 1,000 words. Pictures, images, anyway, visuals, because they literally communicate what's behind what the people actually seeing and reading. Remember that people actually first see and then read. So the very first thing that they do when landing on a website is the perception from a visual perspective, and that's why visuals are so important. But I mentioned before, the context is important. What does it mean? We are in September 2021, so we are approaching, at least in Europe, and this hotel is in Europe, we are approaching the autumn season, or at least the cold season, but specifically autumn. These are the colors of the autumn. So this is an autumn picture, all right? And that's the context. What's not in context is something like this. Same time, and we are showing something that is typically a summer picture. And I'm showing this because I know this hotel is still in Europe, and even in winter time they have this picture. Now, in winter time, you don't imagine yourself having or to put your feet into a jacuzzi. You actually don't think to even stay outside and lay down in those nights in this nice terrace. So you actually it's totally out of context. And that's what the context is about, because yes, it's a beautiful picture. Well, I mean, it's not even high quality picture, but anyway, the picture says something quite nice, but it's out of context. As said before, in principle, I'm against showing hotel rooms. And I'm going to be showing you successful hotels actually that didn't have any hotel rooms to show up in any actually part of the website, and yet still they managed to be successful. But anyway, if you really want to show rooms, at least do that, but being part of a slideshow. All right, so a slideshow is a series of images that fades in and fade out and slides in and slides out. A set of collection of images or a gallery. And you do it like this. I mean, this you understand, even though it's a screenshot, you understand that it is part of a gallery or a slideshow from the menu, the 4 dots underneath. And yes, that it makes a little bit more sense. Yet, if you just show a picture like this or of a room like this, I mean, this is just a regular 4-star hotel room. There is literally nothing special. Nothing, absolutely nothing special. So why should you be using this space, which is so powerful and so important, to showcase that there is something absolutely common, all right? So it's just a commodity. You are showing a commodity, and you can't pretend actually to sell your hotel more because you are showing a commodity. And last but example, this is not a welcome to hotel name, because this is not the case. However, as you can see above the quick research form, hi, book a room. And it was quite surprising when I've seen this hotel first, this website, when I saw this hotel the very first time, because it's very aggressive as a way of saying, hi, book a room, and especially consider that it was my very first time visiting this hotel. Now, nowadays it's super easy, well, not super easy, but at least it's doable and literally at no cost to have dynamic content that dynamically change depending on many different conditions and variables. For example, whether he's a new visitor or a returning visitor or even a repeating visitor. Like in this case, I'm a new visitor. Hi, book a room. This is the very first thing that I read. Hi, book a room. I mean, seriously, is this a message? This is not a message. This is just I mean, who the hell are you? sort of thing. Or at least this is the kind of reaction that will probably trigger in the mind of many people reading these kind of things. And that said, let's move on to some good example. Now this time, since we don't have to hide anything, we move on to the web. And this is pretty much it. All right, I have a bunch of websites, so let's quickly move along all of them. This is the Cavallino Bianco. By the way, I have shown this hotel many times before, even in the previous episode. I'm going to be showing this hotel from many different perspectives, because this hotel is pure perfection. This website is pure perfection. Now here there is no claim. However, how long does it take for you to understand that this hotel is for families? I mean, if you simply watch this video, how long does it take? Probably no more than 2 seconds, all right? And that's exactly the point. There is literally no need to say anything more than that, all right? Because they clearly focus, actually they're not even focused, they're just clearly picturing through a video what's the experience that people will be having when staying in this hotel. And that's all that matters, all right? There is nothing else to say. But even from the logo, now, Cavallino Bianco in Italian means a little white horse. And even if you don't speak Italian, you can perfectly see it from the logo on the top left. And this is pretty much, in context, all right? Again, speaking about context, this is totally in context with families, kids, children, and so on and so forth. Now, even now, we'll also look at the dimension. Like in this case, probably I'm lucky, but my laptop is pretty small, so it's pretty narrow. And therefore, yet being narrow, I can see the main claim underneath. Let's create memories together. And even if I scroll a little bit down, the subtitle, you never forget time you spend with your favorite people. Now, this is all about families, and you can say it all from the video, from the claims. And again, do you see any room picture here? There is nothing about rooms. Even if you move on to the other pages of the website, you probably don't remember if I ever seen any room picture of this hotel, because it's not the point. It doesn't really matter. They don't sell hotel rooms, they sell experiences. And that's exactly what this website has been doing. Another example, totally different. Now, this is hotel in Lugano. Now, some of the hotels that I'm going to be showing you are hotels that either I work with or I have worked with, and this is one of them. This hotel is in Lugano, 5-star hotel, and there are so many hotels, even luxury hotel in Lugano. However, look at the main claim, the only 5-star hotel on the shores of Lake Lugano. And we identified this unique selling proposition as really being something unique, because it really is. All right, there are so many hotels by the lake, yet this is the only 5-star hotel which is directly on the lake, meaning that people don't even have to cross a street in order to be with their feet in the lake. And that's exactly the point. People get out of the main gate of the hotel and they are on the beach on the lake. And that's definitely something that makes them different. This is purely a branding positioning statement, something that totally highlights what makes this hotel different from all other hotels. And if you think about it, again, we're talking about the first impact. What do you want to communicate in the first impact? Something that you are totally different from all other hotels, not just a room picture. That's the exact meaning of commodity, but something that makes you different. And that's exactly what this hotel did. Let's move forward now, because I might get the kind of objection saying that, well, it's easy to say or to sell an hotel when you are by the shore of a lake, of a beautiful lake on the sea. Or, okay, let's exaggerate. It's easy to sell a hotel when you are in the Maldives, all right? Because the Maldives sell the hotel. It's not the hotel selling the Maldives. The Maldives sell the hotel. It just place a beautiful, typical picture of the Maldives, and that's pretty much done. That's just justify those hugely high prices that you usually have to pay when you get to a hotel in the Maldives. So what do you do when you are not in such a place? You are just a hotel, and maybe in a not even in a city center or whatsoever, so you don't have such beautiful landscape to showcase. Well, still, you kind of like this hotel, you need to try to tap into something else. And if you think about what this hotel is, very simple yet very powerful, because it's again about filtering in and filtering out what this hotel is about and what kind of people might be the best fit for this hotel. Chic, urban, individual. It's not just one of many hotels. It's very simple, this one, right? But it really clearly states what this hotel is about and what kind of hotel is about. This is very simple yet very powerful. Also, the picture is of a picture of the hotel, yet high quality and very good colors, all right, very good contrast. That makes also the claim very visible. And that's very, very, very powerful. Now let's move forward. Oops, something activate city. Let's move on with another hotel. Now these times we move to Zurich. All right. If you know Europe, Switzerland, Zurich, of course, you certainly know this hotel because it's such an iconic hotel. I had the pleasure to work with this hotel for so many years. And this is, I mean, again, we have a statement, which, by the way, is not just a statement, but is really their purpose. They call it the Start With Why. It's a Start With Why program, or probably some of you know from the book of Simon Sinek. This is their why. And they actually make sure that everyone in the hotel and every single channel actually communicates what's their why, meaning their purpose, and making people happier. And this is totally powerful because the why is the way, or is the main claim, let's put it this way, that connects the hotel to the emotional part of human brains. All right, and that's totally powerful. It's like a psychological bridge, let's put it this way, between customers and hotel, and it's super, super, super powerful. However, again, other than that, how long does it take with this slideshow, right? How long does it take for you to understand that this is pretty much a sort of combination between luxury and classic hotel? All right, there is literally no need to say anything else other than what the pictures already say. Plus, they have their purpose. They start with why message or statement making people happier. And that's what actually catch people's attention and get people to move forward. Other than, of course, also practical reason as to why, for example, advantages for direct bookers, okay, fine. But not all the people actually, the vast majority of people, when they first land on the page, are not yet ready to book the hotel or to make the process of booking. That's why they're still in their discovery phase and they might want to get some more information. And that's why these emotional statements are so important. Let's move on. A totally different hotels like this one. This is probably one of my favorite hotels. I worked with this hotel for so many years. It's so nice. This hotel is in Chicago. And I mean, compare this hotel to, no, let's probably move again forward with this video for a couple of seconds. It's very nice, and let's compare this hotel with this hotel. That, I mean, seriously, they're two totally opposite hotels, yet equally successful. Now, here there is no claim, even though they have, which is do your thing, I know by heart, do your thing. Do your thing is their why, their statement, even though it's not published in here. However, how long does it take for you to understand what kind of target is the best fit for this hotel? I mean, you don't expect someone in, with a tie and a very nice suit to get into this hotel. Not because it's not good, but because, of course, this is not the main target that they are communicating to. All right. But this again is very powerful, very big menu on top, for example, so that it can perfectly be seen, the clear call to action underneath with no need to scroll. And again, the picture in this case video said it all. Now, last two examples very easily. Let me see, this is still loading. This is what, for example, I don't like, when there is a further delay based on animation that probably takes a little bit too much time. However, besides that, this could be another claim or another why, if we want to put it this way. And reflecting new, it doesn't say much, yet it catches people's attention. Even more so with a call to action like this, which is watch the film. It's not watch the video or watch more or learn more. It's watch the film. It already catches people's attention because, of course, it's something that is quite unique. Also with this kind of animation, it's quite unique. And finally, I mean, this is probably too easy because, of course, when you are in such a location and when you can rely on such beautiful landscape picture, I mean, there is nothing else that you need to say. Actually, in this case, there is probably even too much because reconnect with nature is super powerful, super short and sweet, and it always works. However, this part probably, in my opinion, is too much. I will have moved down because there is no need to say anything more, all right? So there is just, this is just the perfect example where you need to leave all possible space to the pictures or to videos or anyway to the visuals in order to speak on your behalf. And that's why, I mean, this is pretty much it. If you have other example, other ideas, feel free to share, shoot me a message or comment or whatsoever. And yes, I'll see you again in the next video. Bye bye.